But this morning, George Burns died in his bed at his home in Beverly Hills less than 2 months after his 100th birthday. The old comedian had been sick in recent months, but had been feeling better lately. As flowers were placed on his star on Hollywood's Walk of Fame today, friends said he suffered no pain at his death, just faded away. Carol Channing, who once performed with him, remembered him today.
I know he died happy. I know George well enough to know George is happy. When he went this morning, he thought, but I did it right up to the last minute with my boots on. That's every actor's wish, and he got it.
Burns will be buried in Los Angeles on Tuesday alongside his late wife, Gracie Allen. We have a look back at his life now from Jerry Bourne.
I can't afford to die. I'm booked. I'd lose a fortune.
This is how we remember George Burns, cigar in hand, twinkle in his eyes, celebrating just one more birthday.
You know, people are always asking me, George, when are you going to retire? Retire? I'm going to stay in show business until I'm the last one left.
By any measure, George Burns had the longest-running act in show business, but no one would have predicted that, not the way he began.
When I started, I had no talent. I worked with a seal. I worked with a dog. I did a skating act.
George Burns was a product of the vaudeville stage, a natural-born performer who started life as Nathan Birnbaum, one of 12 children born to Polish immigrants on New York's Lower East Side.
Anyway, I kept changing names and partners until I was 27. And then I started to play some good theaters, and people discovered I had a talent. I had a big talent. I was married to for 38 years.
The talent that changed Burns' life and career was a 17-year-old named Gracie Allen.
Gracie, your mother doesn't like me. She didn't want me to marry you.
Oh, George, every mother throws rice on her son-in-law.
Not in 5-pound bags.
What made us a good combination is my talent was off the stage. I could think of things, and Gracie was able to do them. I was a straight man.
What do you like?
Lamb chops.
Lamb chops. Could you eat 2 big lamb chops alone?
Alone? Oh, no, not alone. With potatoes, I could.
You could?
She was ditzy, he was debonair. Burns and Allen, the act was born. And it worked. In film.
Miss Allen, I want you to take a letter.
Yeah, oh, I know that one. Take a letter, double it, add XYZ, and then there are a couple of other little maneuvers. And anyway, the answer's 27. Yeah, I know that one.
Hey, that's Gracie.
And later on television.
Gracie, don't tell me that you mislaid
Their
your
own
present.
weekly show.
When people mislay things, it's pure carelessness. And not only that, it's stupid and it's unnecessary.
Oh, well, don't worry, dear. I mislate things, too.
They shared the big screen and TV screen with many of America's great entertainers. Fred Astaire, W.C. Fields, Bing Crosby, and their close friend Jack Benny.
Your sister Bessie's been married a long time, hasn't she?
Uh-huh. You know, she has 8 sets of twins now.
8 sets of twins?
Mm-hmm. See, her husband made bookends for a living, and this affected their whole lives.
And then one day, the act and the magic died with Gracie, victim to a heart attack in 1964. Burns never got over the loss, and it took a dozen years before his career recovered with a film, The Sunshine Boys.
I won an Academy Award with the Sunshine Boys, and I found out the most important thing about acting is honesty. And if you can fake that, you got it made.
At age 80, George Burns had been discovered again by a whole new generation. Film star and God, in the movie at least.
Not what you expected, huh?
I think the wonderful thing is that it established him with young people. He preceded Tony Bennett, you could say, in bridging the age gap and having both fans of young and old.
Made love better, and I'll
Burns
tell you
was in
something else,
demand
I've never
again.
lied better.
With a solo act that combined a little singing.
You've been around as long as me, then everything's good news. It's the only way to go.
And a lot of stories, many of them about Gracie.
Gracie got all the laughs on the stage. Off stage, Gracie thought I was funny. I'll never forget, we were married then about 27 years, 28 years. And she woke me up at 3 o'clock in the morning. She said, George, I can't sleep. Make me laugh. So I made love to her, and she laughed.
And later, every birthday became an occasion for a show on TV or on stage.
And I'm going to play Caesar's Palace when I'm 100 years old. And I hope Caesar's is still there.
George Burns did not play Caesars on his 100th birthday. His health was failing by then. He simply got old and very tired, in spite of himself.
And I've been around for a lot of years. And there's one thing I believed in. And it works for me and it'll work for you too. You can't help getting older, but you don't have to get old. And if you should survive to 105, think of all you'll derive out of being alive. And here's the best part. You've had a head start if you are among the very young at heart. If you are among the very young at heart.